Stop scrolling and listen, because we are not burying the lead today. Here is the cold, hard reality of what just happened in Foxborough, delivered straight up. The Los Angeles Chargers season is dead. The final score was 16-3, Patriots. Justin Herbert was sacked 6 times, the offense went 1 for 10 on third downs, and Herbert's playoff record has officially dropped to a disastrous 0-3. But that isn't even the whole story. We have confirmation from NBC Rules analyst Terry McCauley that the referees missed a clear-cut roughing the passer penalty that would have changed the entire momentum of the game. And in the locker room, Derwin James was seen fighting back tears, comparing this loss to watching a sandcastle get washed away by the tide. Those are the facts. The season is over. The controversy is raging. And the heartbreak is absolute. If you are a Chargers fan who is tired of the national media ignoring the context, or if you just want the raw, unfiltered truth about this team, hit that like button right now, share this stream, and subscribe. We are about to break down every single angle of this collapse, and we aren't holding anything back. Now that you have the headlines, we need to breathe and process exactly how we got here, because the details are excruciating. We have to start with the immediate aftermath, because the scene inside that visitor's locker room tells you more than the box score ever could. Usually, after a loss, you hear cliches. You hear guys saying, "We'll get M next year." But Sunday night was different. Sunday night was heavy. When the clock hit triple zeros and the scoreboard read 16-3, the reality set in that an entire year of work had just evaporated. Derwin James, the undeniable heart and soul of this defense, stepped up to the podium, and he couldn't hide the pain. We aren't talking about a guy who is just going through the motions. We are talking about a warrior. Tears were welling in his eyes. His voice was cracking. And the quote he gave is going to stick with this fanbase for a decade. He didn't talk about X's and O's. He gave us a metaphor that perfectly captures the torture of being a Bolt fan. He said, "It's like drawing it up in the sand and the waves coming by and knocking it away." That is the headline quote. Think about the brutality of that image. You spend months building something. You endure the heat of training camp, the grind of a 17-game season, the injuries, the travel, the stress. You build a beautiful structure. And then, in one 3-hour window in January, a wave comes in and wipes it smooth. It's gone. It's like it never happened. That is what Derwin was feeling. He wasn't just sad about losing a game, he was mourning the complete erasure of a season. He continued, fighting through the emotion, saying, "Seeing how much these guys sacrificed, we didn't get it done today, man. Came up a couple of plays short. A couple of plays. That is the difference between a legacy and a joke in the NFL playoffs." And that brings us directly to the defensive performance, which is a tragedy in its own right. The Chargers' defense actually played championship-level football for the vast majority of this game. They held rookie quarterback Drake May in check. They were flying around. For 3 quarters, the Patriots only had 9 points on the board. In any other timeline, holding a team to 9 points through 3 quarters is a guaranteed win. But the standard in the playoffs is perfection. Derwin admitted it. He said, "We got to finish. Can't give up the touchdowns. Can't give up no points." Really, the standard is perfection in the playoffs. And anything less feels like failure. When he was asked what changed late in the game, when New England finally broke through for that 28-yard touchdown to Hunter Henry, Derwin didn't have an answer. He was raw. He said, "Right now, don't even have the words, honestly. I got to look at the film." That silence speaks volumes. It tells you that the players are just as confused and heartbroken as the fans. But here is the first major question we need to ask ourselves, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Is it fair to ask the defense to be perfect when the offense produces absolutely nothing? Derwin James is a 4-time Pro Bowler. He is an All-Pro. He is a legend in the making. But seeing him broken like that makes you wonder if the weight of carrying this team is finally becoming too much. The defense did its job. They gave the offense a chance to win. And yet, they are the ones left explaining the loss. But before we crucify the team, we have to address the elephant in the room. The controversy. The breaking news item that the league probably wants us to ignore. The missed call. This isn't just fan speculation. This is documented, verified incompetence by the officiating crew, and it might have cost the Chargers the game. Let's rewind to the end of the first half. The Chargers are down, but they are driving. There are 41 seconds left. They are trying to get into field goal range or maybe take a shot at the end zone. Justin Herbert drops back. He feels the pressure. He scrambles. Now, listen closely, he does not establish himself as a runner. He is still moving like a passer. And then, he takes a shot. Forcible contact to the head. It was obvious. It was violent. And the referees swallowed their whistles. But here is where it goes from bad call to confirmed robbery. Terry McAulay, the rules analyst for NBC and a former NFL referee who knows the rulebook better than anyone, went on the broadcast and absolutely torched the officiating crew. He didn't mince words. He said, he still gets roughing the passer protection until he clearly establishes himself as a runner, which he didn't do. That's forcible contact. It should have been a penalty for roughing the passer. Boom. There it is. A former official confirming that the Chargers were wronged. Now, look at the impact. If that flag is thrown, the Chargers get 15 free yards. They get an automatic first down. They are suddenly on the edge of field goal range with time to operate. Maybe they get 3 points. Maybe they get 7. The momentum shifts completely. Instead, no flag. The drive stalls. They punt. The Patriots get the ball back with 41 seconds, drive down, and kick a field goal. That is a massive swing. The difference between going into the half tied or leading, versus going in down 6-3, is psychological warfare. The missed call didn't just strip yards, it stripped hope. It allowed New England to seize control. So, here is the question of the day, and I want you to flood the comments section with your take on this. Do you think the NFL has an officiating crisis that is ruining the playoffs, or do great teams find a way to win despite bad calls? Drop your thoughts below. I want to read every single one of them. However, as much as we want to blame the stripes, we cannot hide from the most painful statistic of the night. The one that is plastered all over the internet right now. The one that is fueling the haters. Justin Herbert. 0 wins. 3 losses. The narrative has shifted, folks. The breaking news isn't just about the loss, it's about the reputation of our franchise quarterback. Justin Herbert is one of the most physically gifted human beings to ever throw a football. We know this. We see the arm talent. We see the throws that nobody else can make. But the resume is becoming a nightmare. 19 completions on 31 attempts. 159 yards. 0 touchdowns. 6 sacks. Those are not the numbers of a franchise savior. Those are the numbers of a quarterback who was totally suffocated. The Chargers' offense generated just 207 total yards. They were 1 for 10 on third down. That is abysmal. You cannot win a playoff game converting 10% of your third downs. It is mathematically impossible. Herbert was running for his life. He had 57 rushing yards, but most of them were out of pure desperation. And the way it ended? The final 2 drives? Both ended with Herbert on the ground. Sacked. Ball loose. Game over. This is the 3rd time we have seen this movie. In 2022, we had the 27-0 collapse against Jacksonville. In 2024, we had the 4-interception meltdown against the Texans. And now, this offensive paralysis against the Patriots. The question is getting louder, and it is getting harder to ignore. Is Justin Herbert a regular season merchant? The internet is roasting him. I saw one tweet that said, Justin Herbert turns into a pumpkin when the calendar hits January. Another one said, the Chargers will never win a ring with Herbert. He lacks the clutch gene. This hurts to read. It hurts because we know how talented he is. But in the NFL, talent doesn't matter. Winning matters. Patrick Mahomes finds a way. Joe Burrow finds a way. Josh Allen finds a way. Right now, Justin Herbert is finding ways to lose. But is it all on him? This is where the fanbase is tearing itself apart. Is it Herbert? Or is it the offensive line that let him get sacked 6 times? Is it the play calling that seemed terrified to push the ball downfield? Is it the culture of the organization? The Chargers drafted Herbert 6th overall to be the guy. They paid him to be the guy. But if the ceiling is a wild card exit, then the investment is failing. The reality Herbert is facing is that until he wins a postseason game, he is going to be viewed as a stat patter who can't get it done when the bullets are real. And this leads us to the final segment, the future outlook, because the next 72 hours are going to be absolute chaos for this franchise. We have 3 major storylines converging at once. First, the Derwin James situation. His comments about the sand washing away suggest a locker room that is emotionally bankrupt. How do you rebuild that confidence? How do you get these guys to buy in again after another heartbreak? Second, the Justin Herbert dilemma. We are now hearing whispers, and these are just whispers for now, but they are getting louder, that the front office might be looking to shake up the coaching staff significantly to save Herbert's career. You cannot keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And third, the roster moves. The Chargers have a massive amount of cap space heading into the offseason. The breaking news rumor mill is already spinning. Sources are indicating that the Chargers are targeting a premier free agent left tackle to shore up that offensive line. This could happen fast. We are talking about a signing that could be announced within the week. But there is a twist. The Kansas City Chiefs also just cleared cap space, and they are reportedly targeting the exact same player. This is the war we are in. It's not just about losing to the Patriots, it's about keeping pace with the Chiefs. If the Chargers lose out on this free agent to Kansas City, the gap in the division gets even wider. There is also a report floating around, unconfirmed but explosive, that an offensive player vented in a private group chat about the play calling immediately after the game. If screenshots of that chat leak, we are looking at a full-blown mutiny. The locker room could fracture. The trust could be broken. So, where do we go from here? The pain is fresh. The score of 16-3 is going to sting for a long time. The image of Derwin James crying is going to be the wallpaper of our nightmares. And the 0-3 next to Herbert's name is the brand we have to wear. But this is the NFL. The offseason starts today. The decisions made in the next week regarding the coaching staff, the free agent targets, and the internal culture will define the next 5 years of Los Angeles Chargers football. I need you to do 3 things right now. 1. Hit like if you still believe Justin Herbert is the guy, even after this disaster. Let's see if the faith is still there. 2. Tell me in the comments, what is the one move the Chargers must make this week? Fire the coach? Sign a lineman? Trade a star? Be the GM? 3. Subscribe to the channel. We are going to be tracking every single rumor, every signing, and every leak that comes out of that building. The season is over, but the drama is just beginning. We are Bolt fam. We ride together, we cry together, and we rebuild together. Stay strong. Stay locked. And we will see you in the next update.